Eddie Chambers, and I want to give you guys the biggest opportunity to grab my courses for the biggest sales event that I've ever done. Many of you may know that I've been selling courses for many years now, and I've sold them for as high as $300 a pop. I got 16 courses that teach you everything from the beginning stages of boxing, defense, counter punches, angles, how to fight on the inside, how to fight on the outside, 150 different combinations that you can throw, the shoulder roll, Philly shell defense, how to shadow box, conditioning. I've done it all, and now I want to give it to you guys at the best deal that I've ever given it. Last year I went ahead and did 90% off, but guess what? For the people who act now, who act before Black Friday, I want to give you an early bird special. So you can go ahead and you can get all 16 courses for only $297. That's right, only $297. Now that's only for the first 10 people who act. Now don't worry, if you're not part of that first 10 people, you're still going to get a Black Friday sale. You're just not going to get it for $297, okay? So go ahead, act now, because 10 is real easy to sell, and I'm going to sell those quick. And if you're seeing this commercial, that means the sale is still active. So you already know, guys, go to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Boxing Life. What's going on? It's your boy Coach Anthony, and of course none other than world-class professional Fast Eddie Chambers. And I want to give you guys the biggest opportunity to grab my courses for the biggest sales event that I've ever done. Many of you may know that I've been selling courses for many years now, and I've sold them for as high as $300 a pop. I got 16 courses that teach you everything from the beginning stages of boxing, defense, counter punches, angles, how to fight on the inside, how to fight on the outside, 150 different combinations that you can throw, the shoulder roll, Philly shell defense, how to shadow box, conditioning. I've done it all, and now I want to give it to you guys at the best deal that I've ever given it. Last year I went ahead and did 90% off, but guess what? For the people who act now, who act before Black Friday, I want to give you an early bird special. So you can go ahead and you can get all 16 courses for only $297. That's right, only $297. Now that's only for the first 10 people who act. Now don't worry, if you're not part of that first 10 people, you're still going to get a Black Friday sale. You're just not going to get it for $297, okay? So go ahead, act now, because 10 is real easy to sell, and I'm going to sell those quick. And if you're seeing this commercial, that means the sale is still active. So you already know, guys, go to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Boxing Life.
We are on. What's going on, guys? Today is going to be a fun day. It's definitely going to be a fun day, man. We're going to go ahead and do some fantasy fights. I'm going to have Eddie Chambers pull up in here, and we're going to do some fantasy fights, man. This is something that's going to be a lot of fun. It should be pretty educational, too, because we're going to break down why we believe so-and-so will beat so-and-so. So, of course, there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. This is simply for entertainment. However, I want to know what you guys think. You know what I'm saying? So when we go ahead and we start picking the people, whenever we start picking the people, I want you guys to chime in as well. You know what I mean? Give your reasons why you think so-and-so is going to win, man. So should be pretty cool, man. It's going to sit here and wait for Eddie. I got a list for tonight. So we're going to stick with a certain list for tonight that I already put together. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and, hear everybody's opinions, man. I mean, they're all merely just opinions. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, it should be a lot of fun, man. First and foremost, man, make sure you guys grab my number. If you're not watching this live, 215-709-5437. You guys saw what happened the other day. I caught a strike for doing a film study. Unfortunately, I almost was done for a whole week. Somehow, some way, I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? So basically, man, we're just going to sit here and wait for Eddie, man. Eddie should be here in a couple minutes. Give me 1 second, guys. Anyway, man, see how everybody else is doing. Everybody who's in here, man. We got Noah in the building. What's up, Coach? What's going on, champ? We got Sugar Ray Robinson versus every other boxer to ever win. Sugar wins. We got Better B versus Canelo. Good God, Canelo would be in the hospital. Damn. What's going on, man? Tyler, I see you. Hopkins versus GGG. I picked B-Hop. Man, we're going to get into all these fights in just a minute. So, we're going to get there, man. I don't want to get started without Eddie, man. So, how's everybody doing, man? Talk to me, ladies and gentlemen. Kill a couple of minutes before Eddie gets here. And then we're going to go ahead and get into it, man. So again, guys, if you're watching this and you're not live and you don't have my number, take the number 215-709-5437. You guys seen it, man. They almost hijacked my channel. No channel. That'll be crazy. That'll be heartbreaking, man. I ain't going front, man. I love my YouTube channel. I got some good ones for y'all today, man. I got some good ones that I put together. So I'm really interested to hear everybody's opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'm really interested to hear the ones that I put together today. Now, don't get me wrong. There's more that we're going to do. We're going to do segments like this all the time. But definitely want to hear what you guys got to say about my list of the people that I put together today. So it's going to be pretty cool. A lot of people got their fantasy fights already going in the chat. Give me a few minutes, man. Let me go ahead and send this link out. That's a good one. Tommy Hearns versus Floyd, man. That's a real good one. I didn't put that one on the list, but I do got both fighters on the list. So we're going to see. Lennox versus anyone. You know what? I didn't put Lennox Lewis on the list, man. He'll have to make the next one. And we got Fast Eddie. Fast Eddie Chambers.
What's going on?
All right, guys. So I got Eddie in here. We're going to get started with these fantasy fights. We're going to have some fun, Eddie. I'm going to go with your pick first. I'm going to ask you your opinion first. I'll give mine, and then we're going to go with the chat. Chat, I already got this kind of already set up. If I didn't pick the fantasy fight that you wanted to see, don't take it to heart. We will do more of these. You see what I'm saying? I picked 10 fights for today. So, you know what I mean? We're going to start off with the first one, man. We're going to break the ice with this one right here, man. First fight. Eddie Chambers versus Chris Bird.
Oh, good Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, who do you guys got? Eddie Chambers or Chris Bird, man? For all my real fight fans out there, this is a fight I would have loved to see, Eddie. How would this fight have went, Eddie?
I like Chris Bird. That fat bum on the other side, I don't know how the hell he got in this whole conversation. Nah, but you know, real shit. It would have been interesting. I just don't think he could have held me off. But it would have been a difficult fight though, because he's really elusive. He wouldn't have been, trying to be hit. He wouldn't be taking any chances. It would have been in these. He'll try to slap you to a win, 100%. You know what I mean? He found a way to hustle them heavyweights, without paying too big of a price. He was good defensively. He worked off of a lot of head movement, been at the waist. It wouldn't have been an easy fight at all for me, but it definitely wouldn't have been an easy fight for him. It's a weird matchup. I would have definitely had to push the fight though. Mm-hmm. And the question would have been, would he have been fast enough defensively to match the hand speed too that was coming at him? And I guess we're comparable in speed. I think I'm more explosive than he is, but we're comparable in speed. So I know most people probably looking at me like, you crazy as hell. That motherfucker won titles. You ain't win shit. Yeah, well, I mean, it was at a slightly different time than me, kind of. He was a little before me. His era still has some of the old heavyweights of the past, like Holyfield was still around a little bit. You had John Ruiz, you had a lot of those guys that were around there. Heavyweight division was a little bit like toward the end of the 90s era going into the 2000s. So, with me, I was a different breed of, heavyweight at that time. I fought like a small guy. You know what I mean? Like I fought like a guy who's, a lighter weight guy. So it was a little bit different. I don't know how Chris would have dealt with that, because now he would have been fighting somebody with a different style than he was used to. As a heavyweight, obviously he's fighting bigger, slower guys, and he can make them miss and like I said, slap him to death. You know what I mean? The death of 1,000 slaps, but he's still winning fights like that. He made certain guys look foolish, but with a guy like me, now you got speed on the other end, and shots are going to be coming at you, multiple shots at a time at a different pace than you're used to. So it would have been a little bit different for him too, and it would have been. And I'm not going to sit there and say that it would have been easy for me. You know what I mean? Like I said, he bends at the waist a lot. He moves his head. He's a moving target. He's not an easy person to land on. But I would have definitely tried to walk him down, and I would have probably put more punches onto his body. You know what I mean? To slow him down even a little more. Yeah, I mean, I probably would have landed some shots upstairs too. But yeah, I don't know. It would have been an interesting fight.
Eddie, I'm going with Eddie Chambers, man. Eddie Chambers is
That's
going
right.
with Eddie Chambers, and I'm going with Eddie Chambers. We're going to move on. We got Tyson Fury versus Riddick Bowe.
Oh, Lord.
Now,
I like how they got their game.
I don't know why my guy chose the video game pictures. All right, so we're going to disregard the pictures, but Tyson Fury versus, and when I say Riddick Bowe, I mean the prime Riddick Bowe. Who you picking?
Yeah. Damn, when I look at Bowe and the trouble he had with certain fighters, like Eastern European fighters, tall guys, he's a tall guy too, but you know what I mean. Like the issues he had with Andrew Galata. And as good as Bowe was, man, I don't know, man.
Well, Riddick Bowe that fought Andrew Galata, bro, that's a different Riddick Bowe that I'm talking about. We can't pick that Bowe. That's not the Bowe. I'm talking about the Bowe who fought Evander Holyfield the first time.
What?
That Riddick Bowe. Now I understand.
But this is the thing. Was the end?
I know he had a short-lived prime, but him and his super.
But that's what I'm saying. See, a lot of these things.
That guy who fought Evander Holyfield is who I'm talking about, though. And maybe anything before that. Before those 3 fights and anything before that. Anything after that, I feel like
even if he didn't lose, he didn't lose any fights. You know what I mean? Like he fought. He just had an issue with Andrew Galata. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, you know what? All right, let's just say Holyfield and Tyson Fury are 2 different guys, and you got to think of the style. Holyfield's a smaller heavyweight in comparison to Bowe. But this is the thing about Bowe. Bowe liked fighting on the inside more so than even at range. I think Bowe was more of a mid to close range dude. He was really comfortable fighting at close range. I don't know because remember, we're talking about somebody who's now 6'9", about 270 pounds. The likes of none of those guys have ever seen that before. You know what I mean? Not nobody like that moves in boxes. So for me, as much as I like Bowe, he's one of my favorites. Like I used to like to watch back in the day, him, Holyfield, those guys. I just don't think they were ready for that, for what Tyson is. You know what I mean? He's like he's a hard person to match up with. You know what I'm saying? He's a really difficult matchup. He's a tall guy that likes to fight from range. And I know people are going to try to crucify me because once they seen that Francis Ngannou, they're going to be like, oh, you telling me that this and that. But I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, we got to take more into account, though. We got to think about how he struggled with Deontay Wilder as well. And
but
I look
did
at
he?
Riddick Bowe. I look at Riddick Bowe. The first fight, I mean, the first fight was very close. The second fight,
it was very close.
The first fight was very close. I mean, he got dropped twice, arguably knocked out in the 12th. He only lost by 2 points, 1 or 2 points. And the second fight, he whitewashed Wilder. But then the third fight, even though he won by knockout, he dominated that knockout. He went through hell for that knockout.
Okay, I'm gonna ask this question. Just like I always say, aside from the knockdown rounds, how many rounds did Wilder win in that fight?
I can't remember.
In those fights.
I can't remember.
And no. I'm gonna say this. He knocked him down, and in all the rounds he knocked him down, in those little rounds he won. Every other round he lost.
Okay.
So
hold on. I get what you're saying. However, Tyson Fury has been knocked down by other guys as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
He's been dropped against your boy who's the light heavyweight, cruiserweight. What's his name again? Light heavyweight.
Steve Cunningham. Yeah.
Okay, he's been dropped against him. He's got dropped against Francis Ngannou. Okay, I don't know who else dropped him. If Riddick Bowe, envision Riddick Bowe dropping him and letting him off the hook. Can you envision Riddick Bowe letting him off the hook? That dog of a Riddick Bowe that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the Riddick Bowe that ate and made himself all slow, sluggish, and sloppy. I'm talking about a hungry Riddick Bowe. If he gets to that chin, and he was skillful enough to get to the chin, he's skillful enough to get to that chin. He ain't no sloppy heavyweight when he was sharp.
Nah, man, when he was right. Yeah, he was one of the better ones.
Fury, he's finishing Tyson Fury. Unlike these new guys who hurt Tyson Fury, in my personal opinion.
I don't know, man. It's hard for me because I look at Tyson. Then also, like when he fought, you got to remember, he fought the Vladimir too. He fought Vladimir as well. And I look at, obviously that's a different style. I mean, they're similar. I guess Bowe and him is similar in style. I think Vladimir's a little bigger than Bowe. And even with somebody who is a master at range like Vladimir, couldn't find a way to break it with somebody like him. The feints, the footwork, it's a lot to ask to fight a guy. And who knows which Fury's coming. He can come in at 270, or he can come in light and try to box him the whole night. I mean,
Fury's not. See, this is where I think we're having a thing, and I get what you're saying, but Riddick Bowe is nothing like Vladimir or Vitaly.
That's my point. He wants to fight on the inside.
Riddick Bowe put combinations together. Okay, that's my point. If he gets on the inside with Fury, which I know he's good enough to get on the inside, going to the body and putting short combinations together, in my opinion, is perfect against a tall guy. That's how you chop a tree down.
No, that's 100%. That could happen.
So,
but that's if he. That's if that.
He was mean with it. He was mean with it.
No, he was of course. I mean, listen, I watched the era too, just like you. You know what I'm saying? But it's different, and I know you. When you look at him fighting a guy like Holyfield, who's about 6'2", you know what I mean? About 214, 210, 214. That's a different animal than a dude 6'9" is 250 pounds, 260, 270 pounds. Now Riddick Bowe becomes a smaller man. So now he has to fight in a different way. So as good as he looked against Holyfield, as good as he looked at some of those other guys, none of them were the size, and a lot of them didn't have the ability, even if they weren't the size that Tyson Fury is. This is why I'm saying there are different ways, there are multiple ways he can fight that fight and make it really difficult for Bowe. Whereas Bowe has his best shot is to get close and try to land multiple combinations. Does he get that opportunity? And we all know that Tyson Fury can be extremely elusive too. Bend at the waist, roll shots, pull shots, counter shot. And even though he may not be a one-punch knockout guy necessarily, I'm pretty sure he can hurt Bowe. So you got to remember all these things you got to take into consideration. But has Bowe ever fought? And this is the thing. Has Bowe ever fought somebody like a Fury? No.
No,
none of them have.
No, not yet.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
But has Tyson fought a guy like that?
I don't think so.
Maybe not as talented and as saucy as Bowe was, but he has fought guys similar size, similar abilities, and not abilities, but similar like I would just say style. You know what I mean? Definitely strong, as strong. You understand what I'm saying? Guys stronger now than then. You know what I'm saying? So I think as far as what you would expect from a guy, maybe not the skill, maybe not the combination punching, but he has to get close enough and he has to be able to do it in a way, and he's got to get through the arms, he's got to get through all of the other shit and the size and the weight and all of that. And then on top of that, he might have to chase that motherfucker down because it ain't gonna be that easy to get to him. And he got a long ass reach, and he can actually throw shots on the inside too. And he's a guy who has a hell of a pace. Doesn't typically get tired. So there's a lot that Bowe has to overcome as well. So I'm not saying that it would have been an easy fight, or it's Tyson all the way, he will stop him. No. I'm just saying there's a lot that Bowe will have to deal with. And the fact that he's never seen nobody like that and he's got to figure it out and one night, I'm telling you, bro, I can tell you from experience, it's hard, real hard to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think that Tyson Fury, as good as he is, I feel like I've seen him challenged, and for me, the guys who's challenged him from this era, I mean, again, he did fight Klitschko, which was a fantastic win for him. He did fight Deontay Wilder. He went through that big punch. But he's also vulnerable, man. And I don't know how he would have competed with a guy who was going to put punches together. I know that the guys that he's fought try to hit him with one shot, two shots. Riddick Bowe punches together. And you don't see too many heavyweights putting punches together nowadays. You know what I mean? Where Riddick Bowe was putting punches together, 1, 2s, 3s to the body, bringing him back upstairs with a 3 that, like, he was fighting like a big middleweight, man. He was putting punches together, good combinations. And Tyson Fury's not a one-punch knockout type guy, so I don't see him necessarily knocking out Bowe with one punch either. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's the heavyweight division. Don't get me wrong.
Right. You can hear it.
I don't know, man. I think if Riddick Bowe closed that distance and he got real mean in there, I don't know how how Tyson Fury other than try to lay on him. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know. But
that's what I'm saying. You got to also think about, like, we're looking at Tyson and thinking too much about the Francis Ngannou fight, and I know what you're saying is like, no, I'm just thinking about Bowe. Francis Ngannou is probably stronger than Bowe was then.
Oh yeah,
bigger too.
Ain't no probably. It's 100% he was stronger.
Right. So as far as trying to take control of the inside weight wise, and and where you are in the ring and dominating, the space, you got to remember Tyson's still a bigger man. Tyson's arguably close and comparable in speed. Those combination punches, high level of skill, long range, and he can get the respect. And I think he can hurt Bowe with a shot. And if he can, all of those things, see what I'm saying? He has to get through all of that shit in order to be able to get to the rights to get inside, to throw those combination punches that you're talking about. And I'm not saying that he won't, but it could happen.
We're moving on. We're gonna go with Usyk versus Evander Holyfield.
Oh God.
Usyk versus Evander Holyfield, the battle of the cruiserweight champions, or even heavyweight champions.
Both of them, yeah.
Who are you picking?
Holyfield's one of my favorite all-time fighters. He's had the world-class heart. Usyk he's just a winner, man. That motherfucker know how to win. He does what it.
That's a hard fight. That's a hard fight to just pick so quick because when you think about it, my first initial instinct says Usyk. Only because he's got a good resume right now. He's a southpaw. He's been looking sharp. However, when you start to really think about who Holyfield was when he was in his prime and what he was willing to go through to win, you know what I'm saying? And the kind of shape he used to keep himself in. I think skill-wise, Usyk has a slight advantage, but man, I don't know.
Holyfield has skills too.
Yeah,
don't get it twisted. You got
Holyfield had punching power. Holyfield was strong.
But Holyfield has skills though. Like I watched like some of them exchanges, some of those. He has skill, and even though Tyson, I think, wasn't what Tyson was when they fought the first fight, I think he showed a lot in that fight to prove that because Tyson's a high skill too. Was high skill too, but it's just with Usyk. Remember, he's a southpaw. He got all these like herky jerky feints, and he had a lot of shit with him. Like and remember. So you also got to understand, like what recognition. Like we don't. It's hard for guys like because back then it was the States. They didn't have an Eastern European bloc like it was as the 2000s started going further. Like we didn't really have a lot of experience with that kind of style, that European style, with all of the herky jerky shit and the way they fight. We didn't really get a lot of experience with that. Like most of the time we was fighting other American fighters and guys who, were like American fighters. So I think that would have probably made it a little bit even harder for Holyfield because he didn't have a lot of experience with that and what they brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? It's like look at it now. Holyfield was, of course, he's a little older. But look at when he fought John Ruiz. And John Ruiz, we all talk about how great he was at the jab and grab. And how hard it was for Holyfield, even though he was older, to deal with John Ruiz in that style.
Let's be honest, John Ruiz would have gave Usyk a tough fight too.
Exactly, but that's my point.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, as I'm envisioning that fight, I can't see Usyk dominating John Ruiz. I just can't see it.
It's a hard fight because, and you got to remember
too, because they're both equally about the same size, and that jab and grab is going to definitely frustrate.
That's what I'm saying. And what I'm saying, like, I don't know. I look at it's those awkward, weird styles for American fighters. Like I think like basic, good, upstanding boxers, like tall, talented guys, but they don't have that little hitchy jab and grab bullshit style. Not saying that that's Usyk necessarily, but he got a herky jerkiness with him. He got a little bit of that European along with what he learned from Bashir and different stuff like the feints. His style is like a real confusing kind of style for somebody. So I'm imagining him like Holyfield trying to figure that shit out, trying to close the gap, trying to land those big shots, trying to get on the inside, trying to make it happen. It's just I'm having a hard time picking my guy, and I want to say Holyfield. You know what I'm saying? I so badly want to say Holyfield. Damn, that's a tough fight. That's a tough fight. That is a very tough fight for Holyfield.
It's a tough fight. I feel like I feel like like I said, my intuition says Usyk, but a part of me says, is that only because I'm recently seeing him and I'm forgetting what some of the stuff that Holyfield was able to do. I can't quite answer that right now, but I do think Usyk overall has just a more upgraded skill set than Evander. But I don't know, man. That's a hard fight for me to pick too, man. I can't fully pick. I can't fully pick, man. We're gonna go ahead and let's see what the people are picking, man. I said. Ray Sean said, I think Holyfield got more heart than Usyk. That's a possibility. Man, Holyfield more heart than a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that you make, fall in love with that fight style. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna fight no matter what.
No, that's a fact. And again, it's just a tough fight, man. Okay, we got Bernard Hopkins versus Triple G.
Damn. Who came up? You come up with these?
Yeah, I came up with these, man.
Gee, god damn, man. That's a hard ass fight to like. It's hard to,
man. I think that's the easiest fight out of all the fights we've looked at. I got Bernard Hopkins winning that fight clearly.
I would say that. And I kind of like. I don't know, man. Yeah, Bernard's a big guy too at that weight.
6'2", better footwork.
Yeah.
Dirty on the inside if he got to be. Better ability through sneaky right hand leads, sneaky check hooks. I think Bernard wins that fight, man.
I think he does. I've never
seen Bernard really ever hurt either in my career. Like
I seen him get hit on some dirty shit by Antoine Eccles.
Yeah,
and he dropped him.
The only one that but he was so wild where he kind of tries to be methodical. I don't see nothing that Triple G could have did other than knock him out with one punch. I don't see anything else.
But I think with that fight too. Like him just having the ability. See, Bernard would have to pull out all his tricks because he wouldn't be able to let Triple G, you know what I mean? Like stay at him all night, chipping away at his body and hitting him, putting his hands on him so much. You know what I mean? Like a young Bernard, it's hard for me to see Triple G beating him too. It really is. But I can see, if he could actually hurt Bernard, or he can actually, you know what I mean, like make him respect that power enough. I mean, he can find a way in the fight, but I see why you're saying what you're saying because Bernard's a big guy, he's strong.
He had no problem making it boring. He had no problem doing what he had to do to win. And if you ask me, he has more athletic ability.
Yeah, well, Bernard, see. I think he was more skilled in a sense that he covered all the bases. Like he understood, like I said, like being dirty, like you said, he could do that. He could box. He could fight on the inside. You know what I'm saying? He could maul you. He could pressure you. He could do all of it. He could do everything he needed. So whenever he needed to jump into like any particular mode, he could kind of access it. So that's where it makes it tough for Triple G Triple G can box. He had a good jab, tough, extremely tough, take a punch, and could punch like a motherfucker. So if he can put his hands on Bernard consistently, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I think Bernard definitely wins that though. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest.
All right, moving on. We got Felix Trinidad versus Errol Spence at 147.
Before the Crawford fight, I would have said Felix Trinidad is too one-dimensional. And he might, and I still might see it that way but it's just that both of them got flaws, like those big ass steps and those long ass shots that I just think if trained properly early on, those things wouldn't be a problem. but Tito was just so one dimensional. Even the way he held his feet, his hands, the way he stood, the way he fought, it was so
you know what's crazy?
one dimensional and predictable.
You know what's crazy? If you look at
Mhm.
Tito's resume, he actually beat
He got a good
guys
resume.
than Errol Spence beating.
Oh yeah. That is no question about it.
Being one dimensional, and he's actually beating guys that has got ability that are more than one dimensional opponents.
Which is crazy to me, but
You know what I'm saying?
you know what it is?
He's beating mobile fighters like David Reed, Fernando Vargas. I mean, Oscar De La Hoya. That's quite questionable, but let's just say it. Oscar De La Hoya, older Pernell Whitaker. Just slick guys. He's beating slick guys. He's beating 3 Olympic gold medalists. It's kind of crazy when you think about that. But then again,
it is.
And the thing is about Errol wants to press and get to the inside. Does he walk into that left hook?
He could. Question then though, like,
but then again,
could he take it?
That get dropped and look off balance and look weird and stuff as well. So it's kind of. I think that's a very good matchup. Like
it is. That's why I was asking. Like, did you just come up with these motherfuckers?
Nah,
these are good fights.
Real quick.
Errol Spence and Trinidad is interesting. I think it's exciting as hell.
Who are you picking?
I just think Earl has the ability to box better than Trinidad did to me. Like, I just think he's a little bit more, even though he press, and I don't like them big ass steps that he takes to throw punches. I just think he had a hell of a punch count. You know what I mean? When he's on, he's throwing punches, bro. And that could be a good thing and a bad thing. But if he's able to make Trinidad miss and keep that pressure on him, he can wear him down. You know what I mean? This happened. I mean, obviously Bernard did it, but that's Bernard. Bernard was big and, he had a different, he's a different animal. Trinidad wasn't going to be able to do nothing with Bernard. But I just think he can be worn down. He could be outboxed. I just don't know if 100% of Earl could do it. You know what I mean? But then once again, we got to stop looking just at the Crawford fight because Crawford's a different animal and
we gotta
a different fighter.
We got to ask ourselves, who did Errol beat? We got to ask those questions as well. I mean, he's gotten some decent wins, but who has he really beaten? Let's break it down now.
He's beat. He had all the. Yeah, he beat all the belt.
Well, we can't go with that, man. I mean, this.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
Like, I don't care about belts. I care about who he fought.
I agree.
So he fought Danny Garcia. Okay, which in that fight, in my opinion, had Danny Garcia bit down on his mouthpiece, the fight would have been a very closer fight. I mean, but Danny Garcia wasn't really letting his hands go. He was just kind of just.
But you know why he couldn't? That punch, that he was too busy. He was too busy.
Because Danny Garcia always fights.
Watch the.
Danny always.
He does. He does. But he fought more like that in that fight than in most. He was in other fights. He had a chance to win other fights, and he just didn't get it on the end because he was being a little bit too cautious about or too selective with his punches. In the fight with him and Earl, he couldn't, bro. I'm telling you, because he wanted to, but there was too many punches coming, and this is what made me say,
All right, he beat Danny.
Yeah,
he beat Sean Porter. Which I think that was Sean Porter's last fight of his career. I think last fight. No, Sean Porter fought Terrence for his last fight, but I think it was close to the end of his career.
But he was still Sean Porter. Like, even Sean Porter, I think even when he retired, didn't have to retire.
Who else?
Ugas. He beat Ugas too.
He beat you guys, okay.
Yeah, he dominated. He beat the shit out of you guys.
He won was Kell Brook. To me, that was a solid win.
Yeah, Kell Brook. Yeah,
Kell
another
Brook was
one.
probably one of his best wins, honestly.
There's another.
Because at that time, Kell Brook was sharp.
Yeah.
couple of decent names. Decent. Sean Porter maybe having the best name out of the bunch. I don't know, man. I don't know. I like Errol Spence in that fight, maybe because of the volume. However, we seen his chin. Trinidad was knocking jokers out, man. He was knocking jokers out, man. You know what I mean? He knocked out some pretty good fighters. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's a weird fight. It's a weird fight to just put money on, man. It's one of those fights that the bet will change as the fight's happening, before the fight, the day before the fight. You'll change your mind last minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We got Manny Pacquiao versus Roberto Duran.
Oh, come on, bro. Like, really?
Manny Pacquiao versus Roberto Duran.
Bro. I don't know, man. Fucking not gonna say this shit.
Oh my gosh, I don't know who to pick for that one either.
That's a lot to ask, like to pick. I mean, because that is a fucking hell of a fight to watch. But I tell you what, Duran had, I think, like Pacquiao was great. And I'm not taking nothing away from him, but everybody wants to talk about how great Pacquiao's footwork was. I don't really think he had great footwork, in my opinion. I think his footwork he was just really active on his feet, and he was really busy, and he could punch. But I don't think his footwork was really good, and you could see it in certain fights, and you could see it drop.
I don't think there was anything special about his skills. It was more so about his power, explosiveness.
Yes, that was really
his activity.
Yeah.
But skill-wise, it wasn't nothing really that special there. It was more so what he was able to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because look at like for Floyd, it was like as long as he kept him at like a certain distance, and he was able to figure out what his whole thing, or what he actually had, it was like, yo. I mean, I'm not saying it was easy. Because he in there with fucking Pacquiao. Pacquiao could, there's a lot he can fucking do in the ring, regardless of whether or not he had the certain skills. But that speed, power, and activity did a lot. So, but I think he was just once he realized what Pacquiao had and what he was going to do and what he had skill wise, he was able to control the fight and the range a little bit better. And me thinking about Duran, like Duran was skilled too. Like, don't get it twisted just because Duran was a puncher and he was vicious and all of that. Don't get caught up in thinking that like that motherfucker couldn't actually fight. He could fight. He could box too. Not box like he moving around the ring boxing, but he was like seek and destroy kind of dude. Like, but he really had skill along with that. So don't get fucked up and think that oh, Pacquiao do this. No, it ain't gonna be that simple with Duran. And Duran can crack too. Like, I mean, really punch. So, that fight, that's crazy. That one.
It's a tough one.
If I had to pick, I don't know. Man, damn.
Manny Pacquiao bite down and he'll start throwing them.
He'll fight the shit out of you.
And he'll throw them combinations, and he'll really he'll dig.
He faster than a motherfucker too,
and just like surprise you. Like, holy shit, this guy was able to pull it off. So
like, he can fucking.
He hits.
Yeah, he knocked you the fuck out.
Punch power, but he had that shot.
He had one punch power too. He knocked a few motherfuckers out.
Nah,
like with one point. I mean,
he had that like power that was like, I don't know, it was like a speed power. It was something different. Like it's not like
you see when he hit Ricky Hatton?
It's not like a George Foreman power. It was more like
no.
Speed.
It's a sharp power.
Yeah,
I think the sharp power is worse though, because that shit come out of nowhere, poof, and then you like, oh shit, I didn't even see that shit coming. So and you see what he did with Ricky Hatton when he caught him with that shit, and knocked him out cold, bro. He can punch, man. You seen what happened with Cotto and all them dudes he was putting his hands on. So, I mean, look, That's a hell of a fight, though. God damn. I wish some of these fights could actually fucking happen.
Facts.
And not just on the game. Like you could put them on the game, but it's like, yeah, but that it's the motherfucker who got the stick skills. It ain't like, you know, you just put the shits in there and let them fight. And, nah, it's whoever got the stick skills that'll win that shit.
All right, so how many fights is that? That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was 6. I got 4 more fights for you guys. 4 more fights that we're about to go through. And then we're gonna move on, man. But a quick commercial break.
What's going on? It's your boy Coach Anthony, and of course none other than world-class professional Fast Eddie Chambers. And I want to give you guys the biggest opportunity to grab my courses for the biggest sales event that I've ever done. Many of you may know that I've been selling courses for many years now, and I've sold them for as high as $300 a pop. I got 16 courses that teach you everything from the beginning stages of boxing, defense, counterpunches, angles, how to fight on the inside, how to fight on the outside, 150 different combinations that you can throw, the shoulder roll, Philly shell defense, how to shadow box, conditioning. I've done it all, and now I want to give it to you guys at the best deal that I've ever given it. Last year, I went ahead and did 90% off, but guess what? For the people who act now, who act before Black Friday, I want to give you an early bird special. So you can go ahead and you can get all 16 courses for only $297. That's right, only $297. Now, that's only for the first 10 people who act. Now, don't worry, if you're not part of that first 10 people, you're still going to get a Black Friday sale. You're just not going to get it for $297, okay? So go ahead, act now, because 10 is real easy to sell. And I'm going to sell those quick. And if you're seeing this commercial, that means the sale is still active. So you already know, guys, go to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Boxing Life.
Yo, that Black Friday sale is still active, still $297. I lied, I guess, because I said I was going to cut it at 10, and I didn't cut it at 10 because I want everybody to still be able to grab these courses. So, guys, make sure you guys go to the website, grab the courses, because we're going to raise the price. Black Friday's around the corner, Eddie. Black Friday's around the corner. It's literally going to creep up before you know it, and then that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Bing bong.
Models going to change. People are going to be upset who actually want these courses that they didn't jump on us, but we're going to move forward. This one, I'm sure some people are going to think this is an easy fight to pick, but when I want you to really think about it before you answer, all right? And that's going to be Canelo Alvarez versus Winky Wright at 154 pounds.
That is not that ain't an easy fight for Canelo if they think that's what that is. That is not an easy fight for Canelo. Trust me, that's not an easy fight for Canelo.
154 pounds.
At 150, yeah, it don't matter at whatever weight. That's a hard fight for Canelo, even though because like he fought with the earmuff defense, but he was so difficult to like he would. That's where I learned that like surprise jab. Like when I'm like if you walking somebody down and all of a sudden boom, you snap a shot out. Then another shot, then another shot. It's like that shit. He was a tough dude. Like he gave a lot of motherfuckers problems. A lot. He was definitely one of those guys that would give you a lot of trouble. Now, if Canelo could get, maybe if he punched hard enough to get that respect to crack that shell, I mean maybe. But that remains to be seen. And Winky would have been on his ass the whole night. He'd have been on his ass the whole night. Ah man, god damn, you put me on the spot, Ant. Fuck, that's a hard one though for me. Because I know what Winky can do, and I'm looking at the style, and I'm like, you know why? All right, think of Dimitri Bivol. And think about how hands up, and that's Winky. If you think about it, that's Winky Wright. That style was kind of like what Winky Wright did. Maybe a little different, maybe there's a couple different little things that Bivol did, but the reality of it is having his hands up and him throwing them shots and then, him coming back with those 1-2s and 2-1s and shit like that.
But remember, Bivol was a bigger guy.
He was a bigger guy, but I'm
So
saying
can Winky lay there and allow Canelo to do those things?
that's the only thing that's going to make me say, I don't know. I don't know. But remember, he went all the way up to, I think, 175 too, though. Winky did, if I'm not mistaken. I think he fought Bernard at either 60.
But he fought Bernard somewhere up there, like 160 or 168.
I think it was like 168 or 170, or maybe 175. So I mean, listen, like don't like when I look at that fight, and the thing is, I know I seem like I've been like on like the newer guys type thing, but not really, because I'm looking at this shit and I'm like, Winky was tough. He would have been tough. Now it just depends on, like I said, if you could take that pounding on the arms and that pounding on the body and shit. Because if he could take it, and because remember, he fought Shane twice at 54, and Shane could crack too. Like, don't get it twisted. That motherfucker could crack like motherfucker. And he basically held Shane under control the entire fight. The second fight, Shane did better, but Winky still controlled that fight and pretty much kept it under control the entire night and won a decision going away. So, like, he was pounding on them arms too, just like Canelo would. Now, maybe Canelo might be a bigger puncher than Shane Mosley was. I don't know. You know, but if that's any indication on, you know, if there's similarities, you could say that. Like, he was pounding on him, and Shane could crack too. So, I don't know, man. No, that's not an easy fight for Canelo. Don't even get it twisted, nigga. Like, a lot of these motherfuckers don't know who Winky Wright is or was. You know what I mean? And they need to go really back and take a look. That motherfucker wasn't no easy win.
All right, let's move forward. We got Tommy Hearns versus Terrence Crawford. Don't ask me why it says Henry Crawford.
Yeah. Who the fuck is Henry Crawford? That's Terrence Crawford's. That's Terrence Crawford's evil twin.
Okay.
That's Terrence Crawford's evil twin. Henry. That nigga never got no respect.
Oh, you got Tommy Hearns or Terrence Crawford?
Ooh. Damn. You coming with the heat, for real. That's crazy.
Daniel Harry said, hey, I'll take Henry Crawford.
Yeah, this nigga's stupid. Yeah. Why the fuck you say Henry? Dude, who the fuck put that shit to say Henry, nigga? I know that wasn't you, yo. You could not have put Henry up there. Like, he had one of those fucking senior moments and shit. Like, damn, nigga. Like, no, but what you think, Ant?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I think I'm gonna go with Terrence Crawford, man. I think I'm gonna go with Terrence. And I only say that because as good as Tommy Hearns is, his defense wasn't that good. His defense wasn't as good as Terrence Crawford, I believe. I believe Terrence Crawford got a little bit better defense. I feel like he's physically just as strong. Now I got the hiccups out of nowhere. I think he's physically just as strong. He has layers to his game as far as going southpaw and orthodox. I think his height being a little short is actually going to be an advantage against a guy like Tommy Hearns for some reason. I think that he'll be able to dip under and get close and counter.
Man.
As good as Tommy Hearns is now, however, Tommy Hearns, great jab, good distance, tough fighter, but I think he leaves himself exposed and gets caught.
He does, and maybe he does get caught. But that right hand, his arsenal of offense, Terrence gonna have to be swim. He gonna have to swim without getting wet.
Henry is better than Terrence.
Yo, this nigga said, that nigga's a troll. And he said Henry's better than Terrence. That's fucked up. But nah, hey, I remember watching like Tommy Hearns fight Duran, and how Duran, like how he just ate that motherfucker up. Like it's just like when I look at like even with Ray Leonard, when Ray Leonard fought him the second time, even the first time,
Oh,
bro. And no, that is the argue. You can argue that Tommy Hearns was around the same because Tommy Hearns had. Somebody said pause. I don't even know what I
you were
said, nigga.
saying Paul stuff this whole time.
I had been,
And I really was like holding back
trying to dead
pause because we said all right, we're gonna slow down. But bro, when you was going crazy talking about he will pound on him and pound on him, I'm like, dog. In my mind, I'm like, all right. Normally, I would say,
come on, nigga, like.
But you was going crazy like 10 minutes ago, man. But I let it slide.
Pause. But for real, I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. That Tommy Hearns shit, that's gonna be tough.
Tommy Hearns is still a beast. He's taller.
You gotta watch some of them films,
right
bro.
Hand, very strong with the right hand.
I said, you know what I said?
But you could lure him into a fight.
Yeah.
Easy to lure into a fight. And a guy like Terrence Crawford, I don't know if that's a good thing. Because the shorter arms and the shorter on the inside, he's gonna lose that battle.
You remember when he fought Hagler, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that kept Hagler was that Hagler was stronger, bigger, could take the shots better. I don't know if Terrence gonna be able to take the shots better. Them shots, man. I'm thinking if they touching him, they putting him out. I seen mad motherfuckers go out from them big shots, and I always said certain matchups that would be really, really tough in history for guys to win. Like, they talk about Floyd and Ray Leonard, and they say who these niggas will win and all that. And I think the worst matchup for Floyd would be a guy like Tommy Hearns, more so than Ray Leonard, because of the range and the power and the fact that he's fast too, man. Don't get it twisted. Hearns is fucking fast, bro. He wasn't throwing them shit slow. Watch some of them films. Pay attention to that shit. He wasn't just he had a big right hand. I don't know. I might have to pick Hearns, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I might have to pick Hearns, and the reason is, I just don't. If he hits him, which he will, and Terrence ain't gonna back down from a fight. He gonna try. He run into that shit, bro. Like, he's not surviving that. I don't know, man. I think Hearns is a problem for a lot of motherfuckers in history. I think the only motherfuckers that can beat. But you know what's funny though? Hagler did beat Hearns, and Hagler switching and he do all that same shit that Terrence Crawford do, kinda. But Hagler was a little different though. He was a dog, and he was like, not saying that Crawford isn't, but Hagler was like, you would have had to knock his head off to beat.
Crawford's definitely a dog. Like,
yeah, no. But what I'm
disappointed. I'm actually disappointed that Crawford doesn't fight Boots right now, only because if there's anybody out there who's a dog to fight with Boots right now, it is Terrence Crawford, and he's actually not giving the people something that they want to see. I understand it though from a business standpoint, 100%. If I was Terrence Crawford and I was thinking strictly business, I would do the same thing. However, it just is unfortunate for the boxing fans because, this is a game where you want to see the best fight the best. And I know Terrence Crawford is the best in that division next to Boots. And he's actually the best in the division, and Boots is next to him. Let's just say that, because Boots hasn't done nothing yet to prove that. However, we know that Boots is a killer. It'd be beautiful to see that fight, man. It'd be beautiful.
It will be.
Fight, because that would give us an idea. Because Boots is, to me, more skillful than Tommy Hearns, but he's got that same kind of long reach, kind of a bigger welterweight. I think Boots has more defensive tools, southpaw switch hitter, athletic, where Tommy Hearns, everything with him, he seemed like he fought his best when he was back here. You know what I'm saying? That's when he fought his best. That's why I say Terrence Crawford, because once we get here, what happens? Everything is going to be fine from here. But what happens when we get here? I think that's where Terrence Crawford takes over.
The reason why I think I would say Hearns is because I just don't know if Crawford can take the shots that he's going to.
But has he shown any signs of weakness in his chin?
Oh yeah, he's been hurt.
I haven't seen him.
He's been hurt before.
I've seen him losing fights round wise, but I've never really seen.
No. Fucking what's the name? Almost dropped him.
Who?
What's the kid? Fucking. They talk about it all the time. Him and Spence was going back and forth. They was talking about that. And Spence will bring it up.
All right, but after him, that's one guy, whoever that is.
Yeah, but I think he's been hurt in other fights too. Terrence has been hurt a few times.
I don't remember it, man. I mean, I know he had a tough fight with, I know Gamboa pushed him.
Yeah, Gamboa. That's who. Gamboa. I couldn't get his name out, but yeah, Gamboa. Gamboa almost he had him.
Remember, that was like a decade ago. That was when he was a lightweight a decade ago.
I think he was 140.
Since he developed,
I think he was 140.
He fought Gamboa at 140.
I think he did. I think it might have been 35. I don't know.
Let's just say, since then he might have had. Okay, listen, this is boxing, bro. Like you're gonna get buzzed from time to time, but
yeah, I ain't saying it.
I don't think he has a reputation of getting buzzed where Tommy Hearns been knocked out.
Right. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm telling you. Now, I'm not saying if Tommy Hearns get caught by Terrence that he won't get knocked out too. Absolutely, he probably would. Thing that I'm saying is that range and you having to get through that shit to get that knockout punch is going to be a fucking problem to do. I'm telling you. I've seen, and that motherfucker is fast, bro. Watch him throw punches back in the day. Him and Ray Leonard, when they fought first time, and then watching even the second fight, and then watching him fight Hagler, man, that motherfucker was throwing some punches, bro. And I'm telling you, if he hitting Terrence with that shit, he's not standing under that. I'm telling you.
All right, y'all. So he's picking Hearns. I'm picking Crawford. We're down to the last two fights. I got to use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
What's going on? It's your boy, Coach Anthony, and of course, none other than world-class professional Fast Eddie Chambers. And I want to give you guys the biggest opportunity to grab my courses for the biggest sales event that I've ever done. Many of you may know that I've been selling courses for many years now, and I've sold them for as high as $300 a pop. I got 16 courses that teach you everything from the beginning stages of boxing, defense, counterpunches, angles, how to fight on the inside, how to fight on the outside, 150 different combinations that you can throw, the shoulder roll, Philly shell defense, how to shadow box, conditioning. I've done it all, and now I want to give it to you guys at the best deal that I've ever given it. Last year, I went ahead and did 90% off, but guess what? For the people who act now, who act before Black Friday, I want to give you an early bird special. So you can go ahead and you can get all 16 courses for only $297. That's right, only $297. Now, that's only for the first 10 people who act. Now, don't worry, if you're not part of that first 10 people, you're still going to get a Black Friday sale. You're just not going to get it for $297, okay? So go ahead, act now, because 10 is real easy to sell, and I'm going to sell those quick. And if you're seeing this commercial, that means the sale is still active. So you already know, guys, go to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Boxing Life.
We down to the last two, Eddie.
Let's go.
Last two. All right. Y'all ready for the last two, ladies and gentlemen?
The co-main and the main.
Here we go. The co-main. Sugar Ray Leonard versus Floyd Mayweather.
What is that with the spelling, bro? I see 2 F's on Floyd. Mayweather. Mayweather. What the fuck is going on?
Henry Floyd Wiener, pause, whatever.
Yeah.
It don't even matter.
Yo, what is going on, bro? This is crazy. Yo, but it's cool. Yeah, it can't be best at everything. You know what I'm saying?
So talk to me. Talk to me. Who y'all picking, Floyd or Sugar Ray?
I think Floyd, man. I ain't gonna lie. I think Floyd. And the reason why I think Floyd is, Ray Leonard was a great puncher and all that. I just think that Floyd would slow it down. I don't think Floyd would try to exchange with him. I think Floyd would try to, make it a one-punch pot shot fight at range. And I think Ray would feel the need to press and, like same kind of like when he fought his dad. Like if you watch the fight when he fought Floyd Sr., and Floyd Sr. was fast as shit too, but he just wasn't, he couldn't keep him off. I think Floyd would be able to keep him off. Floyd's stronger. I think Floyd's, probably a better boxer all around. I don't know if he's as fast as his pop. His pop seemed like he was super quick. But, and with that style that he had, it seemed like he was really doing well with Ray until Ray turned that shit up to another level and got him out of there. But I think Floyd will slow the fight down. I think he'll control the range a little bit better. I think he was comparable in speed to Ray. And a lot of people, I think, like I remember I talked to Bashir about it, like, oh, Ray was stopped. And it's like they're looking at the attributes of how hard he punches and how fast he was and all that too. But
let me get in here. Let me get in here and give some. We gotta be careful by picking Floyd so easily, y'all. And y'all know
it ain't easy.
I know I'm a Floyd Mayweather guy. I defend Floyd to the end because I really believe he's a fundamental genius, not just a defensive genius. However, Sugar Ray Leonard was something special, man. He had speed, power, boxing ability. He can knock you out. He can put 10 hit combinations together. He'll dig deep if he's behind in the fight. He'll go on the inside with you. And we see Floyd Mayweather have trouble with guys like Oscar De La Hoya. So how can we rule out Sugar Ray Leonard? Because Sugar Ray Leonard would have put some hard, quick punches together and bunches and punches in a fight against Floyd. And he's fast enough, quick enough, hits hard enough, has good enough footwork to get to Floyd. Floyd had issues with Sugar Ray. I mean, he didn't have issues, but he got caught by Sugar Shane Mosley in a fight. And we all know that wasn't the best version of Sugar Shane. And we're talking about a prime versus prime. A prime Sugar Ray Leonard versus a prime Floyd. I don't know, man. I think that anybody could beat Floyd as Sugar Ray Leonard.
I think Hearns more so than Ray Leonard, to be honest. I think Hearns poses more of a dangerous fighter.
Oh yeah, Zab Judah pushed Floyd for 5 rounds.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing we're talking about.
Zab Judah. Sugar Ray Leonard knows Zab Judah, bro.
No, but Zab Judah, first of all, Zab's a southpaw. That's another thing too. We got to think about styles. There's little slight differences in that, which causes certain issues. And Floyd, at times, would struggle with southpaws, but let's not forget he adjusted and ended up dominating that fight down the stretch. You understand what I'm saying? All these fights we're talking about, even with the Shane Mosley fight, as much as I love Shane and wish he could have fucking won that fight by knockout, he got dominated in that fight.
Henry Crawford makes a good point. Leonard has a natural size advantage too. He's naturally the bigger guy. Don't forget.
Okay. Wait, he fought at 47, right? He started at 47. Floyd started at 26.
He was a big welterweight.
Yeah, about 5'10". Floyd was about 5'8", 5'9".
Against a guy 5'10", who can box and can brawl.
I understand, but like I said, that sounds great. Look at Pacquiao. Pacquiao was fast and could punch and all of that. Now, of course, he's not the same skill level as Ray Leonard or the footwork and all of that. I get it, but he could do all those things that you're speaking of. And what happened when he fought Floyd? He had to put his hands.
He gave Floyd.
He did it. He did good, but he still put his hands in his pocket because he couldn't get the shots that he wanted. He was having trouble with the range. He ended up losing the fight, going away because he couldn't keep his hands on it.
But his offensive punch selection is nothing like Sugar Ray's.
No, that's true. But sometimes that awkward weird shit. Plus, Pacquiao's a southpaw. You understand what I'm saying? That's also different. So you gotta see. I'm looking at it not as so much what attributes Ray has, but I'm talking about how he matches up with Floyd and what Floyd does so well. Have we ever seen Floyd overwhelmed to the point where he couldn't end up dominating the fight down the stretch? The only time I've ever seen it,
De La Hoya, he laid on the ropes. When he fought De La Hoya, he laid on the ropes, and he was
when you watch the fight,
he won by what? 1 point.
Okay, but look, if you, the only fight that I've seen,
the similarity to De La Hoya is Sugar Ray Leonard, as far as how they used to put punches together when they had a guy on the ropes. But Sugar Ray, in my opinion, was better.
Probably, but what? Okay,
I'm just talking about the way they put. I'm not talking about their style, but more so by putting punches together. De La Hoya had a tendency of he was able.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He had that Olympic amateurish thing where he could put them together, and
both of them did. Yeah, I get it.
Sugar Ray did it, but just better.
Yeah, all right. Look, the only fight I seen Floyd struggle with to the point where I thought he probably lost it was the Jose Luis Castillo fight. I think all those other fights, and that includes the De La Hoya fight, I thought he controlled.
Which I would love to do a film study. We were gonna do a film study and score the fight, and I'm too scared to do it now. You know what? I might have to send everybody to a fake YouTube channel that I don't care about for film study. I might make a film study channel. So if they ban the channel, it is what it is. You see what I'm saying? Or something. But I can't lose this channel. I can't lose this channel, man. But
no, but
I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen, man, I do not know him, man. I'm the biggest Floyd Mayweather fan probably in this whole.
I'm not saying right now. I'm not saying that it would have been an easy fight or easy win. I just think because of his defensive ability and the range and his footwork and things. And I've watched Ray. Ray is not that focused on defense, bro. I'm telling you, he's thinking about landing shots. I've seen him fight guys. Like, I always look at the Donnie Lalonde fight. Now, that's a different fight than what Floyd would be. I know that. But what I'm saying is I look at that fight, and I'm like, yo, he took a beating in that fight. Even though he won and he was, like, in control, but he took punishment in those fights. When he fought Hearns and all, like, when he fought Duran. Now, these are greats. I'm not saying these dudes are bums. But I'm just like, yo, he took punches. You mean to tell me you ain't thinking he's not gonna get pop shotted by Floyd too, doing that with that same kind of shit? He's absolutely gonna be getting hit too. And I don't think he's gonna be able to land those combinations that we're speaking of. I just don't think it's gonna happen. I think the reason why Floyd was so great is because he takes guys who are offensive juggernauts and turn them into regular motherfuckers. That's really why, and that's how he beats them. That's how he dominates these dudes. Like Shane Mosley.
I don't know anybody who Floyd has fought that was like Sugar Ray Leonard, man.
You know what I mean? Like wasn't fast and had speed and power.
Speed, power.
Zab Judah had it. Shane Mosley had it. They might not have been. They might not. Shane Mosley was very fast and he hits very hard. Now he didn't have the same IQ.
Shane Mosley was already. He's already passed.
Yeah, but he still had those attributes. And the same thing with Zab. Zab was very fast. Zab also hit very hard. Zab also could box his ass off. The problem is Zab had an issue up here and would blow late in fights. Pause. I said pause. I said pause. But they all had similar styles. And what did Floyd do to them? He ended up dominating the fight down the stretch. He figured them out. He started making them fight his fight. They stopped punching. They got tired. They got frustrated. And then fight's over. Bro, look, I want to say I think that Hearns posed a bigger threat. I'm telling you, than Ray Leonard.
I think that's a possibility that he might have posed a bigger threat because of the height. But
the speed and the ferociousness. But it would have been a hell of a thing for Floyd to have to deal with that.
It's a tough fight. All right, we down to the last one. the last fight. And listen, guys, this is something that we're gonna do more often. So if I didn't pick your fight matchup that you wanted to see, no need to fear. Another no days off November is near. Okay, we got plenty of fights, but you know I gotta end it with this one, Eddie. Come on, man, it's a no-brainer, man. I mean, if I don't pick this one, I mean, I don't know what to say, man. It's Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson.
Oh shit!
Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson, man. We gotta pick one.
Two of the most famous motherfuckers out here.
We gotta pick one. Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali. Who you picking?
This, I think we talked about this before, me and you. Probably not on camera, but I like Ali. I love Ali. He transcended the sport. He's everything that athletes should aspire to be. You know what I mean? We should all want to have the impact that he had and believe in the things that he believed and say it without no filter and not be worried about what consequences were. And he was an awesome athlete, one of the greatest fighters to ever live. But with Mike Tyson, and we talk of prime versus prime, Mike was fast as fuck too. And Mike could get to you. I don't give a shit what you was going to do. You would have had to hold, you would have had to lay on him. You would have had to do something in order to keep him off you. Or you would have had to be as strong and get him going backwards in order to stop that onslaught. And I honestly don't think that he would have been able to keep Mike off him. As tough as Ali was, and when Mike was like undisputed, when he was just running through motherfuckers, he could go 12 with no problem. When he had Customato, bro, I don't know, man. I don't know how you stop him. I don't know how you stop Mike Tyson unless you put him on his ass, and I just don't think that was going to happen. Mike also had a granite chin. Like that motherfucker could take.
He wasn't gonna be able to rope a dope a guy like Mike Tyson.
Nah, you can't.
He played that rope a dope game with Mike Tyson, and he's gonna be rope a smoked. So yeah, you know, he was able to pull that off. Even though George Foreman arguably is a bigger puncher than Tyson, Tyson was too accurate. Tyson was too sharp. Tyson worked the angles. He went to the head and the body ferociously. He knew how to switch. And Ali got a little lazy in there at times. And I as much as I like Ali, and I think Ali is smart. I think Ali is tough.
Yeah.
I think he's capable. I think he could beat Mike Tyson as well. But at the same time, and nobody wants to go against the greatest, man. But, you know, if I had to bet the house, if somebody put a gun in my head and said, you better pick one, I'm picking Tyson, bro.
Got you, man. I think and I'm an Ali guy.
I can't do it. Like if you force me, if you put my back to the wall, I'm picking Tyson. However, Ali, super intelligent. He might have gotten in Tyson's head before the fight. He might have, because you know Tyson's an emotional guy. And
we talking Tyson with cuss.
We're talking about Ali, man. Ali knew.
But if we talking Mike Tyson with Customato, it's different. Because at that point, it's all about, you know, getting in there. It's all about training. They train hard. They focus only on boxing. They had a culture there. It was different than what Tyson was when he was with.
Ray Sean keeps talking about 1966 Ali.
If he thought, I know what he's saying. I know. And Cassius Clay, when he was that motherfucker was fast as a welterweight. He was fast as a motherfucker.
I know. I watched some of his clips. I didn't watch all his fights, but I watched some of his clips. When he was Cassius Clay, he was fucking
different. But even with that, you have to find a way to keep Tyson off you. And I just don't know if he could. Now, I'm not saying he couldn't punch. I ain't saying that. But he got to be able to keep that motherfucker off him. And I just don't think that Tyson wasn't going to be able to get his hands on him enough. I think he the rope-a-dope and all of that, even when we talk about when he was younger, like when he was in there with, you got to look at when he was in there with Listening, and Listening was a killer, but listen, man, first of all, I think Listening was 6'2" or something like that, but he was super basic. Throw the 1-2, not really anything flashy, just was real strong, punch real hard. Tyson had a whole bunch of different shit going on. He was strong, could punch, and had angles, would switch. He would be on you in a fucking split second. And multiple punches up on multiple fucking combinations. If you could stand up under that shit. It's hard. That's a matchup I always said it's hard for me to see him. It's hard for me to see him beating Tyson. It really is. And it's not just because, I mean, obviously, a fan, you know what I mean, especially a more modernized fan. I mean, for more of this era and 90s era is going, of course, Mike Tyson. And most of the Ali guys are, older and some of them aren't here anymore, you know what I mean? But I'm just looking at it from a boxing perspective. And Tyson was a problem for a lot of motherfuckers. A lot.
Any of these guys who was, I don't know about these new giant guys for Tyson, but any guys before the Giants came along, like the Klitschko's and the
Furies and shit,
guys that were super big, pause. Like I think that Tyson. I think because Tyson being 5'10", I think he has trouble with a lot of those type of guys. But
no question, too big, too heavy, too strong.
Like 6'2", 6'3", and under. Tyson was getting them boys up out of there, man. Especially when he was sharp.
When he was with Cuss, ooh. That's a scary motherfucker.
My list, y'all. There's my list. Those are my fantasy fights for today. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, those are some good matchups.
I ain't gonna front, bro. Like 6 of those matches, neither one of us picked anybody. We just gave our opinion on the guy, and then we moved on. We never actually gave an answer. I was documenting that in my head because it's such a
so was I.
That you almost don't want to say it. You're like, I don't want to go out here on the record and say this dumb shit because this fight is that close.
Right. Well, put it this way: like the ones I picked, I really feel that that's how it would go.
Right.
I really do. Like I using my boxing brain, not saying that it's the greatest one, but using how I view boxing and how I think when I'm in the ring and, just them watching people and what they do and their tendencies is how I kind of come up with this. And it doesn't necessarily mean I'm right. Obviously, by how wrong I was with Crawford and Spence, but I think a lot of that had to do with some other shit. Plus, overlooking some of the.
Let's run it down real quick, man.
Okay.
Chris Bird, Fast Eddie Chambers. Just say your name.
Me.
Fast Eddie Chambers. Tyson Fury, Riddick Bowe.
Fury.
Usyk, Evander Holyfield.
I can't. That's too hard.
You gotta make an answer.
Usyk.
Bernard Hopkins, Triple G.
Hopkins, Bernard, B Hop. I think that's
Trinidad, Errol Spence.
I'm gonna say Earl.
Manny Pacquiao versus Roberto
Come
Duran.
on. Oh, come on, bro. Now you know that one. I'm just gonna close my eye. I'm gonna say, nah. I don't. Pacquiao. Fuck it.
Canelo Alvarez versus Winky Wright.
Canelo by split decision. Fuck that. Wait, Canelo by gift decision. How about that? That's what I'm gonna say.
Tommy Hearns versus Henry Crawford.
Yo, I don't know, man. I thought I was gonna pick Henry, but I think his twin brother Terrence might have something to say about that. So no, I'm gonna say Hearns, man. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say Hearns, bro.
Sugar Ray, Floyd versus Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Floyd Mayweather or Floyd Meter, whatever the fuck. F Floyd. I'm going double F Floyd Mayweather. Pause.
And Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali.
I'm going Mike.
You going with Mike? So that's Eddie's picks right there, y'all. That's Eddie's picks.
I'm sorry.
I mean, hey, those are solid picks. I think I like that audible. Canelo by gift decision. I can see that.
Yeah.
That was a good audible.
Oh, yeah. Because you know why?
I can see Canelo doing just enough to win that fight. However, I can also see Winky winning and getting robbed.
That's why I said that, because it's like when he fought Vargas, when Winky fought Vargas, Vargas got that decision, and I think Winky really deserved that shit. Even though I wanted to see Vargas win because we was Vargas, because Vargas, we knew Vargas, and then I look back on it and I'm like, yo, he didn't really deserve that win. You know what I'm saying? So he was a fucking problem. So I know that I don't give a fuck who you put him in there with. Now there's a select few guys that would have got him, that would have been able to get him, but like, he was a problem. He was a real fucking problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, man, make sure you guys grab my number 215-709-5437. Tomorrow we're doing a fight party for the Shakur Stevenson. So you're coming to the crib, Eddie?
Yes, sir. What time we got?
That I don't know. So this is why I need everybody to have my number. Hit the bell notification, because it might be an earlier stream, because
right.
Exactly what time they're fighting tomorrow. I'm sure that the fight's probably gonna start around like 8 o'clock or something like that, and then, I mean, I don't know. Maybe somebody can give me.
It might be earlier. Yo, let me know, because I don't want to miss that shit.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, we gotta do the stream, so you gotta let me know so I can, you gotta let me know so when I come back from where I'm at, you know what I mean? Because tomorrow's
Thursday.
So yeah, tomorrow's I think it might be a pretty light day.
Yeah, so that's the idea. Of course, when we do the fight parties, you're not going to be able to watch the fight on my channel, but you'll be able to watch me and Eddie watch the fight, and we could break it down and explain to you what we're seeing and who we think winning. This kid's going to put up a good showing. I do got Shakur Stevenson winning that fight, though. I think he's going to win. I think he's going to win quite convincingly, but in some sort of a drama. There's going to be a little bit of drama there. Time starts at 10 p.m. Eastern. It starts at 10 p.m.
What do you mean?
Let me look this up. Act like I don't got Google, man.
Really?
It starts at 8:30 Eastern time.
The card.
I'm sure the card starts at 8:30 Eastern time. So I'm sure they're gonna be in the ring probably around 10:30 or somewhere around that time or whatever. So yeah, man, we'll figure it out by tomorrow.
Yep, we got it.
Yep, we'll figure it out by tomorrow. It says you're saying 10:30, but I'm looking at over here. Where are you at, Tom? Tom, where you at? Oh, you're saying 10 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know why. It says 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You're probably thinking when Shakur is going to actually be in the ring.
Yeah, they might be talking about walkouts, huh?
Yeah. Well, anyway, man, that's what's going on, guys. Guys, make sure if you're watching this late, or if there's anybody in the stream who has not taken advantage of the Black Friday sale, please take advantage before I raise these prices. We're moving stuff around. We're changing how we do stuff. This is your last chance to get this at a great price. I want to say thank you to all the supporters and everybody who shows love by showing up to these streams. We both mean it a lot.
What's going on? It's your boy Coach Anthony, and of course none other than world class.
Like I pressed the button in the middle of a sentence. I'm tripping. Anyway, peace, y'all.
What's going on? It's your boy Coach Anthony, and of course none other than world-class professional Fast Eddie Chambers. And I want to give you guys the biggest opportunity to grab my courses for the biggest sales event that I've ever done. Many of you may know that I've been selling courses for many years now, and I've sold them for as high as $300 a pop. I got 16 courses that teach you everything from the beginning stages of boxing, defense, counter punches, angles, how to fight on the inside, how to fight right on the outside, 150 different combinations that you can throw, the shoulder roll, Philly shell defense, how to shadow box, conditioning. I've done it all, and now I want to give it to you guys at the best deal that I've ever given it. Last year I went ahead and did 90% off, but guess what? For the people who act now, who act before Black Friday, I want to give you an early bird special. So you can go ahead and you can get all 16 courses for only $297. That's right, only $297. Now that's only for the first 10 people who act. Now don't worry, if you're not part of that first 10 people, you're still gonna get a Black Friday sale. You're just not gonna get it for $297, okay? So go ahead, act now, because 10 is real easy to sell, and I'm gonna sell those quick. And if you're seeing this commercial, that means the sale is still active. So you already know, guys, go to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Boxing Life.